welcome to another episode of Freshly Baked Nightmares. I'm one of your hosts, Cece.
And I'm MC, and we're here to retell nightmare stories of working with the public.
MC, it's time.
It really is.
We made it.
Woo.
It's fan stories.
Submissions.
Fan submissions today. We're so excited.
Right? We've had people bugging us in a good way
Yes.
about when we were going to get our episodes going for fan submissions.
I know. And it's so flipping exciting that we have fan stories to share today.
Woo.
It's been a good run right now.
Oh, yeah.
And we're just going to keep this train going. So let's get into some nightmares from some of our fans.
Oh, yeah. Stories for days.
Stories for days. We are so excited. One, because we feel like this is really just a community of people that
Just have a lot of stories to tell and want to share their experiences.
exactly. But it's just nice to know like other people are kind of going through what you're going through.
Right. The shared pain.
The shared problems. It's just so good to be able to have other people tell stories, and we can all like laugh together, cry together,
scream
together,
lose our minds and our sanity
exactly, but do it
together.
Exactly. So I'm gonna start with the story today. This is from one of our viewers. We're gonna call her JY.
Alrighty.
She is pretty cool. She's a friend of mine, and she is a pharmacist. Shout out to the medical people.
Woo-hoo.
I would love to hear some of these medical stories coming up. I love like watching like untold stories of the ER and all that other stuff.
If you're a nurse, if you're a doctor,
All of that. If you're a
pediatrician.
receptionist.
Oh my God. I want to hear
and-
the stories of nightmares from pediatricians
in
dealing
the
with crazy
ER.
parents.
Oh, I have a story for that later. But let's get into JY's story. So she's a pharmacist, and one day she had this lady. You know how when you go up to the pharmacy, you don't have to go like inside. They have like the tubes,
Yeah.
right? Because they have them at banks too. But at the pharmacy, sometimes they have the
I don't know
tubes.
what the proper name for those tubes are.
I don't know either. I just call them tubes. It's kind of cool, tubes. But so the I almost said the fan. The woman is putting, you put your like ID and stuff
Oh
in
yeah.
there.
Your
and-
insurance, your ID.
Right. And then you like send it, and it will go up into the tube, and it goes into
The pharmacy.
right. And then they can send it back. Well, guess the woman she put something in the tube, but realized she forgot something. But she had already like sent the tube. Well, the tube hadn't like launched yet, so the woman like grabs hold of the tube, which you should not do.
It's inside the tube. What's grabbing the tube gonna do?
So she grabbed the tube to like keep it there, and JY says all she heard the tube going was because the tube's trying to move, and so she's trying to get the lady like through the microphone to like let it go. She's like, "Ma'am, like let it go, like just let the tube go."
No.
But the woman was so like in her head, like, "No, I can't let it go. I have to put something in here," and she's like, "Ma'am, I can send
Send the
it
tube
back
back.
to you." She's like, "I can send it back to you. I promise. I can send it back
The
to you."
tube is not a one-way step.
Exactly. And so the woman was like, I guess she finally got the woman to let go. But what was that? Is the woman was like being pulled out of her car window because she's holding onto this tube.
That speaks volumes to the power of those vacuums.
And JY was so worried that this woman was going to get sucked into the tube. And she's like, we have to put like a sign, like, don't grab the tube.
That's one of the cases where you'll see that sign and be like, did that really happen?
Yeah,
To have that sign
exactly.
created.
Did that really happen?
Like
if
the
I
do
saw
not
that
lick
sign,
Windows sign that I've seen posted places.
I swear, if I saw it, yeah, you always see a sign and
Right.
you're like, who
What is the story behind your
did
existence?
whatever the sign is telling you not to do? That always cracks me up. But yeah, no. So please don't grab the, which I thought was interesting, is because usually at the bank they
have that little flap that you pull down to
Exactly.
get the suction to work.
Yeah. So you don't like, I guess the pharmacy, maybe it's an older one. I don't know, but
Or something like that.
But I was like, how did this woman get her arms? Like, anyway, I wouldn't be freaking out that bad, but it was
I'd
funny.
be impressed and terrified.
When she told me the story, I was I was cracking up. I was like, why would you do such a thing? So it was funny.
So our next emission comes from Tis a Ball of Fluff.
Tis a Ball of Fluff.
And their story is, I travel to conventions as well, so I totally get this pain that they've gone through.
Mm-hmm.
They put in a request off to go to a convention.
Okay.
So, you get your things prepped, you're packed, and all ready to go.
Right.
Well, right as they were about to leave, their job mandated them to come in and said, that time off you got, we're canceling it. We need you in now.
Too bad. I'm on the flight.
Otherwise, you're losing your job. And they really needed the money. So they canceled their trip, lost all that money just to keep their job so they could survive.
Are you serious?
Because their job wanted them to work even after approving it. And honestly, that is one of my greatest fears when working is I'm going to put my request in, it's going to get approved, and then I'm going to get shortchanged like that. And I'm going to have to make that choice.
Listen, I would have been like, I'm on the flight. I didn't even get this call or this text until I got off of the plane. Like, I'm in the air, bro. Like, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Get back as soon as possible.
That pain hits hard, though. I've been there before.
I can't stand when that happens.
People, we work for you, and some of us may need you, like in this case, but treat us with respect. We're not just employees. We have lives outside of the places we work.
Exactly. No, that's stupid.
The levels of rude and audacity.
The levels of audacity that some managers be having.
They're spiking higher than my mic.
Whew, crazy. But yeah, no, that's so sad. I'm sorry, Tis a Ball of Fluff. That's so sad.
$800 out.
Oh no, you gotta reimburse me. I would have gone.
That was for the badge. That was towards part of the cost of the hotel room.
I would have gone.
And their plane tickets.
Nope, would have gone. I don't even, I get it. Like, I know you need this job. I would have gone.
And before anyone says, well, then if that's what you're paying for all that, why not just forego paying for those expenses and just use that money to survive? Because some of us who attend cons use this as a reset button from dealing with the public and to calm ourselves down.
Why can't I
have a life?
Some stuff on exactly. Why can't I spend some stuff on me? I work super hard. Why can't I get to have some fun time for myself?
Right. Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. We do way too much to that MC, but it's okay.
I'm more picker and chooser about what I spoil myself with.
All right. So I have another story. We're going to call this lady TT. Met her while I was working, actually. She was really nice. And I was just talking about our podcast because we have an awesome podcast with awesome fans.
It's totally tubular.
That's 2000s. But yeah, so she came in and she was talking about where she used to be a manager of, and she had a story. Heads up. Do not do this at home, and do not try anything. And trigger warning, just in case. I'm not sure, but that's just trigger warning.
Trigger.
So this lady was a manager. She had this mom come in, and the mom was looking for bottles of alcohol, like rubbing alcohol.
Okay, not boozy alcohol.
Not boozy alcohol. Rubbing alcohol. His mom, and she was looking for like a couple of bottles. So, that kind of sends up a red flag of like, why do you need?
I mean, unless you're like restocking like first aid kits.
Yeah,
or
something like that.
Like for a soccer game or something.
Something like that. But so the manager, hopefully, she just intuition was like, oh yeah. So like, what do you need it for? And the mom goes, well, I read online. First mistake.
Oh, very big mistake.
First mistake. She was one of those people that whatever online said, she believed.
Oof.
And she's like, well, I read online that you could kill lice with rubbing alcohol.
I've never heard of that.
But she wanted to pour all of the rubbing alcohol directly onto her kids' hair. No. Like on their head. I think
you're supposed to mix it with shampoo.
I don't even know what it is. I just say don't do that.
It.
I've never had lice, so I can't speak on that.
I mean, that's kind of in the same boat as people pouring bleach on their head to bleach their hair.
Exactly. Like, those are chemicals that can burn you. Like, do not do that. And so she's looking at this woman and she's like, man, you cannot do that. You cannot do that to your child. Like, you cannot, that can hurt them. That can burn them. You cannot do it. Woman was not getting it. So the manager, TT, she went and got the pharmacist, brought the pharmacist over because, you know, doctor, professional.
Right.
And the pharmacist tells her basically the same thing of, do not do this. You will hurt your child, blah, 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 blah.
We have kits for this kind of thing.
Exactly. We have combs, kits, all this other stuff. Mom was not listening. Did not care. Mom still bought the bottles of alcohol. And TT said she just, you know, left after that. I was like, I would have called CPS. I would have called the police. I would have called somebody because no.
Very much no.
It's all of the no. Like, that is so dangerous. Like, first of all, you can't believe everything you see on the internet.
Right.
People.
And second of all, you could
go to multiple sources.
Besides just burning their scalp, it could get in the child's eye. There are so many factors and issues.
And then you're thinking of like a kid scratching their head. That's a bunch of open wounds.
I mean, now if you were going to like cotton swab it in there to like sanitize the wounds before you put it in the chemical cleaners to kill the lice from like the comb kits and stuff, I could understand that. But just pouring it on your kid's head like it's shampoo in a bubble bath?
Exactly. And then getting multiple bottles? Like what? Like,
what? Are they like super lice? Is one bottle not enough?
I don't know. But it was so crazy to me. When she told me the story, I was like, oh my gosh. I couldn't believe it. Now, it was crazy.
Dating how old I am here, I remember back in the day when your biggest fear of getting lice was having to shave your head bald for a week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Man,
I remember
generation's got it so much crazier.
I remember when, you know, it was always like just a random time in school when like the nurse would come around and she was like, oh, lice check.
Or you'd have to get your entire class in line outside the nurse's office for lice check.
She would come around.
And then she'd have to like meticulously go through your head to determine whether you have dandruff or lice.
So see, look, I'm a chocolate chip cookie. So apparently for us, they only like really like eat on like the back part of our hair. So my check was real quick. It was real quick. She didn't have to go through all that.
It usually took a good 30 minutes for her to go through my hair. One, because it's thick. Two, because I suffer from dandruff. So she would have to be like, is that dandruff or is that lice?
Oh, yeah.
I always get to clear that I never had lice.
That's good.
But she'd always be like getting snide comments about me having dandruff as a kid.
Okay, well, I have a dry scalp. I'm sorry.
No, it turns out I had eczema on my scalp.
I have eczema. I'm sorry. It'd be like that, but it's okay. But yeah. Please.
Do not trust everything on the internet.
And talk to a professional. Please.
There are medical professionals for children called pediatricians.
Yes.
Speak to them.
Please. Anyway, back to some craziness.
All right. So now we're going from TT and Tis a Ball of Fluff.
Tis a Ball of Fluff.
To going under the bus.
Under the bus.
And Under the Bus admits in that they worked for a cell phone company a few years back with telemarketing.
Ooh.
And
good stories.
They've gone through plenty of irate customers dealing with incorrect bills or high balances. They would share stories with their other coworkers.
Okay.
That would, you know, kind of amuse them with some of the crazy customers.
Mm-hmm.
They would use keywords and post them on their monitors to remind customers of different things and to help, you know, customers understand stuff better.
Gotcha.
We could do that.
Yeah, that'd be so nice.
Well, this person had a customer who needed a new phone, and for some reason this customer decided they were going to rattle on about plum juice.
Interesting.
How that has to do with a phone, unless you dropped your phone in plum juice.
Yeah. Interesting.
And apparently it just spiraled into going on about wonderful farmers markets and these plump, juicy plums and how they leaked here's how it would tie in. It leaked all over her phone when she bit into a plum.
Oh, okay.
And It apparently had to do with a warm bag as well in her car. So they were trying to help her get this new phone and beeper system.
Okay.
And she called her beeper that she had going off, and she called it a beeping toilet.
Okay.
So weird references for, referring to items. I get that. I've been there. I do that occasionally.
Weird.
But the weird tie-in of plums to farmer's market to then getting to the reason how your phone got ruined and wet.
Weird.
You could have just said, oh, I bit into a plum and the juice got all over my phone. And it fried my phone. Short, sweet.
Yeah.
Not elaborating into where you got your plum from and why you were there.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not into plums. So.
I've never had a plum nor
You've
seen
never had a plum?
No.
And it's like a nectarine, but it's purple.
I've never had a nectarine.
You've never MZ.
What?
You've never had a nectarine?
No.
It's like a tiny peach.
Okay.
Have you had a peach?
Yes, okay. I enjoy peach flavored things.
I was about to have a whole problem.
I've had strawberries. I've had peaches. I've had
I
blueberries.
hope you had strawberries or strawberry milk.
I just never had a plum, a nectarine. I avoid oranges.
Do you not like small things? Is that what it is?
Well, my hands are massive, so put a tiny thing in my hand. It's going to look minuscule.
Oh,
but that's not the issue. It's just, no, I've never had a desire to try them.
Okay.
But I've had starfruit.
No, I'm not a starfruit person.
And I've had durian.
We got to get off of fruit. You're making me hungry. So let's get back on topic.
So,
back to our fan submissions.
In this case, I'd say I get where they're coming from of just finding the humor in the whole situation of plum juice.
Yeah.
But being on the receiving end of hearing these backstories for why a customer's doing what they're doing, you don't need it.
Yeah. I get that. All right. I have one more story. Another story from JY. She has some really good stories. I'm going to have to she's going to have to write a book because it's funny. So she was telling me about this crazy woman that would come in. I understand the pain. Crazy woman that would come in, and she wouldn't like you if you she hadn't met you before.
So if pretty much you were a new face, she didn't trust you kind of deal.
Right. So she would come to the pharmacy, and she was, I don't know if she, was mentally ill or whatever was going on, but she would come up, and if there's a new person, she'd be like, who are you? I don't know who you are. Don't talk to me. She'd just be so not about this person. But after the third or fourth time of seeing them, she would be all friendly. So it was the weirdest thing. But she was so intent about certain things. If she started to learn your name, she'd ask you for your name. What's your name? I'm CZ. What's your name? I'm MC.
Right.
Okay. And then she'd walk away going, CC, MC, CC, MC. And it's that's so weird. You just, I don't even know what to call it. Just memorizing.
It could be a case of OCD or something.
It might be
of that sort.
But she would come in and ask for things that didn't exist, certain medicines, quote unquote, that wouldn't exist. And she'd be like, no, I just had this last time. And they were like, no.
I mean, we can relate to that. We get that in our store too.
Oh yeah, we get people that are be like, oh, you used to have this. I'll be like, man, we've never had that.
Or keyword is used to.
Oh, that too. Well, you used to have it. Well, we don't anymore. Things upgrade. I don't know what you want from us. Craziness. But yeah, no, she would just be really kind of, she would always scare people. She's kind of she could kind of look like JY was saying, she kind of looked kind of witchy in a way, with the really crazy hair, and her clothes were kind of tatted kind of thing. So whenever she came in, it was kind of you heard a Battlefield song every time she walked in. It was just kind of crazy. You're just oh, today's gonna be that day.
Am I prepared?
Am I ready? Probably not. But yeah, You got one last story for SMC?
Oh, yeah. So this one comes from someone I personally know. We're going to call them CM, my other half.
Oh.
They work in food service.
Fun times.
So as you all know from previous episodes, been there, done that. They suffer from a lot of inventory shortage. And I'm talking way back before
COVID.
The pancake happened.
The pancake. Pancake.
So, yeah, even more recently, it has become more prevalent that they underestimate how much they're going to need, or they overestimate what they're going to need.
Mm-hmm.
So the other day he was telling me about how he went to the walk-in to pull out supplies to thaw it out so that it's ready to go.
Yeah.
Because they don't just keep like their buns on a shelf out in the basic floor. They also put them in the freezer for them to stay longer.
Gotcha.
So he had to pull those out. Well, he went to pull them out and also go grab a tray of patties so they can start making more burgers for the day.
Okay.
And they were out of burger patties except for one tray, which only holds about 12 patties. For the closing night shift during summer after 4 soccer games were happening.
Interesting.
12 patties is not enough. So he had to go to his main manager at the time and tell them, hey, we only have 12 patties. You might want to take burgers off the menu. Okay. And when you're a burger place...
Yeah.
That's a concern.
That's a concern.
So what they do is, in that case, they wait till the 12 patties are up, and then they'll remove burgers off the menu until they can get a hold of another store in the franchise to see if they have any spares that they can go collect.
Okay.
So that becomes a whole issue. And no stores had any patties. They were all facing similar shortages.
Oh, no.
But there was no memo sent out saying there's a burger shortage.
But I need a burger.
Everybody underestimated how many patties they were going to need.
I need a burger.
I'm a chicky nuggy person myself.
Okay.
So not having a burger I can handle.
I love a good burger.
I do too, but sometimes you get that craving for chicky nuggies and you just gotta have them.
I understand that too.
Or you get that weird craving where you need a burger and nuggies and put them together.
I've never had that.
You've never had that urge?
Don't talk to me, Mr. Not Plum, not Nectaring. I don't want to talk about
ham.
Nor ham. If you haven't heard about the ham,
it's a texture
it's from
thing
last
for me
episode.
With ham.
It's from last episode. Check it out. But I'm beefing with MC about pork.
I'm pretty cheesed about it.
Get out of here. Oh yeah, I was mad about that too. The grilled cheese. Oh my goodness. Well, this was amazing.
This was
having fan.
I can't wait to do another episode of fan submissions.
I am so excited. I love this. I want so many more fan stories.
Please, the more wackier, the crazier the story, the better.
Exactly.
We enjoy a good laugh.
Yes, we laugh and cry with you. Also, if you have good stories, we'd love to see those as well.
Right. It's not always just got to be about the nightmares you guys face. We could do a whole episode of just stories that made you guys feel special or good about yourselves.
Exactly. Yeah. We want to hear what comes from you. That's all we really want. So, well, this is the end of another awesome baking session. You can follow us on our Twitter page at FBN2022 or Instagram at FBNightmares2022 to participate in some of our polls on what stories you want to hear next, and use our email freshlybakednightmares@gmail.com to send in your own stories like today.
Yes.
You can be in our next fan episode.
And listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And don't forget to bake up those likes, comments, and subscribes. And as always,
that's how the cookie crumbles.
And don't cry over spilt milk.
See you later, guys.
Bye.